fucking ridiculous, right? But they can come back and make you relapse. You know, they can come back and force you back into that mental health state. You know, and auditory hallucinations, if you don't know who's hit you, if you go down to, say you're having a bad day because you're being bombarded all the time, and you don't know who your perpetrator is, if you go to the hospital, if you go to CMHA, if you go to anywhere, your folks, your parents, the school, anywhere, and tell them that you're suffering today, that you're hearing all kinds of stuff, and your mind is going berserk, you either voluntarily go to a psychiatric hospital, and you're there for Lord knows how long, or they form on you and the police apprehend you and bring you there. Right? So if you don't know, see, I know. That's the difference. See, I know. But if you didn't know, and you went and told anybody that you were having audio hallucinations, you'd be gone. No explanations, no questions asked. You'd be in the hospital. Period. Fair, isn't it? Very fair. You know, it's ridiculous. They ask you questions over and over and over. The repetition is just phenomenal. And it is a game to them. They want to control you. Don't want you to go outside. Just sit down. Sit down. What? Sit down. And the sexual innuendo, the sexual comments. You know, when you're getting undressed to go into the bathroom, when you're in the bathroom getting undressed to get into the shower, and they're cutting you up, cutting you down, cutting you up and cutting you down. I've never cut myself up or cut myself down. You see what I'm saying? I've always been, a confident person. I've never had to, I've never had that kind of dialogue in my head. It's always been my own dialogue in my head. Never anybody else's voices, right? Just my dialogue. Now, when you hear somebody else's voice that you know you're not thinking about, and they're talking to you, asking you something that you randomly, they're just asking you a question randomly about something that you really don't care about, you don't know about, you never thought about, you don't know, it kind of makes you think, what the fuck is going on here? You know? But, it's tough because you see people in psych wards and stuff like it, and they're suffering. They're really suffering. Like I said, they're making contorted faces and reacting to things that are not there. Like, rah! And it's really disturbing to see people in that much peril. And then when I think about it, when my experience with this right now, because I've been recording everything, and I know who my perpetrators are, I have been able to keep one foot in reality and deal with the bombardment a bit better because I have a goal. Right? I have a goal. If I didn't have that goal, I'd be probably dead right now. Right? Because for the first 3 months that I got out of the hospital for the first time, they tried to get me to commit suicide for 3 months straight. For 3 months straight, all I heard in my head was, Raymond, kill yourself. Raymond, come to us, Raymond. Raymond, it's okay. It's easy. It's easy, Raymond. It's a simple transition, Raymond. It's just a simple transition. You can do it, Raymond. Remember, you said it's just a transition. You always say that, Raymond. It's just a transition. So come to us. Come to us. You know, the first days I was out, I went out to my grandfather's farm in Dane, and I was walking around the old trails back there, just trying to relax, calm down. And it was like, Raymond, do you have any rope in your car? You got rope in your car, Raymond? You see that tree right there? You'd look good hanging from that tree right there, Raymond. You look really good hanging from that tree. You should do that, Raymond. And I thought to myself, I literally said out loud, what do you mean? I'm not suicidal, man. Like, I'm not fucking suicidal, so why am I hearing this? I don't want to die, really. I'm not suicidal. So what the fuck, right? But it was, please hang yourself from that tree, Raymond. Hang yourself from that tree. And then for literally 3 months straight, all day, all night, that's all I heard was, Raymond, you should come to us. They don't, Raymond, they don't need you here. They don't want you here, Raymond. No, they don't even love you, Raymond. They don't care about you. Come to us. Come to us, Raymond. Transition for us, Raymond. And I was like, holy fuck. But 3 months of that, going through that, was almost unbearable, right? Almost unbearable. Thank God I had a strong mind, and I knew who my perpetrators were. Because if I didn't know who was doing this to me, and I was the slightest bit depressed, I'd be dead. Guarantee. There's no fucking question about it. Because the accusations, the statements, the reasoning for, right? I had a rough childhood, right? Have a history with the CAS here in Kirkland Lake, yeah. And my files were supposed to be closed at the age of 12, right? Completely closed to the police, to CSA officials, to anyone. Closed for me, closed, absolutely closed. And the only way I could get them was to write a written release, hand it in, and they would have to give me my closed files. But they can't open those files to investigate. They can't open those files to read them. They can't open those files to do anything with them. They have to keep a closed file. They give it to me because of the sensitive information for child care services. That's the rules. That's the regulations. Somehow, all the information that all the things that took place in my childhood, they were bringing up. But all things that I had dealt with, moved on from years ago, and that never bothered me, that I didn't really feel guiltful, never felt guiltful, actually. Things happen when you're a child under the age of, I was a child, really. So why these things were ever in my mind, or what I was hearing, was unbelievable, because I went all through my whole teenage years, adulthood, into my 40s, without this being an issue. And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing everything that took place then in my head. It never bothered me before. Right? So that is a flag for me, because it's funny that that's happening the way it is. How was I going to say? It's very bad, because if things are being leaked out like that, if people are messing around with things like that from child services, it's a huge infraction, and it's it's against their mission statement and what they are supposed to be doing in protecting the privacy of the information of the people involved and children involved with CAS. So it's really rough to think about, and you know it's funny because my perpetrators, they want to, you know, they really demonize the whole thing because they they were told me that everything that happened in my life from the age of 12 under, that it was my fault. It's your fault that you got molested when you were a child. It's your fucking fault, Raymond. You got molested because it was your fault that you got molested as a child, Raymond. Yeah, your fault. You should have been able to save the people around you, Raymond. You weren't man enough, were you? You weren't good enough, were you? No, but you should have stepped up, Raymond. You should have saved them, Raymond. Even though I was witnessing some pretty hardcore, you know, very hard to process stuff involved with you know, just crazy abusive stuff that is not cool, right? But I was responsible for that. They said you are responsible for all of that and all the hurt of the people that were around you at that time, and you were responsible. You should have stepped up and done something about that, Raymond. And I'm going, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like, who says this? Who would say this? That an underage 12-year-old and under child would be responsible for the sexual abuse and torture that took place in their life as they were a child. Who would say that? I'm still trying to figure that out. Well, you know, I don't know. But I need, you know, yeah. Anyways, fucking weird shit, man. Really weird stuff. And I'm just trying to analyze, compute, record, observe, stay focused so that I can achieve my goal. That's all I want to do. Thank you.